My name is Alexis Heath, and I'm currently taking Intro to ECCE 1101. I chose to do the Carolina Abecedarian project for my history presentation. My key points are mainly over the background and the history of this project and what all it revolved around. This project was supposed to show data on how high-quality education helped low-income families. They chose to do this study on infants and kept up on said studies for the children until they were about 5 years old. Each infant and child was studied very differently, though all of these children had main focus points for the data that they wanted, which revolved around their cognitive development and their children's social and emotional development. The Frank Porter Graham Child Development Center in North Carolina started this project back in 1972 with the hopes of learning more about children and their ways of thinking. Though they weren't able to start their project until the mid-1980s, when it was finally finished, and they were given grants from the Mental Retardation and Development Disabilities branch, which also resided in North Carolina. They started to notice that their studies and ways of research were leaving long-term negative consequences. Kids were starting to lose their cognitive development after they went into school within 3 to 6 years. The kids they picked to study were from low-income families and were shown to fall behind in classes compared to the peers just because of their type of income. The researchers that started this project chose over 100 infants to study on, but only 57 infants were placed in a study group together. Every child was given 8 hours of participation in a day, which would occur for 5 days a week, and then later led to 50 weeks in a year. When the project was shown to leave negative consequences, the project leaders still provided the infants with everything they could need, even though it wasn't going how they hoped. These infants were given free food and free transportation, as well as free diapers and anything else that they were needed. After later research, the project was shown to leave more positive effects than negative. Comparing the data from an infant age to the adult age had many changes and showed to be the proper way of learning. Not only were the results better in our current time period, but this project has given teachers a new way to communicate with their students and give them the best opportunities for that time period. Then these are my sources. I looked at a psychology paper over this project, as well as a publications paper that surrounded around it. I'm sorry, not surrounded around it, that's wrong. Surrounded their research on this project.